Absolutely beautiful day today, and as you can see, I'm on the outside the outdoor pool pond, and it's all been running great. I've noticed a bit of string algae appearing, so in has gone the no more blanket weed, tap no more blanket weed. I really like this stuff, really good value for money, and it really does do the job. The indoor ponds had this, and I've got a 2.5 kilogram tub in there, and I've got this one I've had hanging about that I've used every year, so I've just weighed this out, and this is ideal. 2,500 gallons this 1 kilo does, and I've put it in here, water in it, and that's gone in here now. So I'll spin you around and I'll show you what that's all about. I know guys, pond balls have not come off yet. If you can see, it's gone all cloudy in there. I actually poured it into the plant filter, and what I did first, I got this and I got as much of the string algae as I possibly could out of here by doing this, and a bit more has appeared now. As you can see, look, that's the best way at first. I did that first to try and get a lot of it in this part out. Now you would be best doing this for your whole pond. Look at that lot. So yeah, because otherwise all this will end up doing is dying off in the water column, and then actually getting into your pond filter, and it just mean that you'll have to do more filter maintenance. So I did that in there first, and that is all now. I can see it appearing around the actual edge of the shower as well. So I thought, right, get the treatment in. So that will start going now, and then when I can be asked to get the pond balls off, which I haven't yet, as you can see, I bet a lot of people have, but I haven't yet. I thought I'd get the treatment in before the light really gets in, and then what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to manage like this for another week or two, probably to the first week of May, and then pond balls will be off. The treatment would have been about done by then. I'll up the maintenance of the filter anyway, because I'll need it now, and hopefully that will really kick-start the outdoor pond season. There's the fish. As you can see, the water is now a bit got that cloudy tint. I'm just noticing, and I'll have a look on my videos for last year, the water temperature is 12.6 degrees C on the outdoor pond, and that's been quite consistent. So I will look back to see if there's a difference, because my wife nudged me a couple of weeks ago and says, oh, when you're taking the pond balls off, because you took them off this time last year. She must have put a post on the Facebook, on her Facebook wall, saying, you know, doing a picture of the pond. So obviously I came out and took all the pond balls off, gave it a bit of a spring clean and hoover. And this year, obviously, I haven't done that yet, even though the plant filter I have, that is off to a flying start this year, because last autumn I cut all this back, and look at it, it's just, so this time last year my spring clean I was cutting it down and I was chopping into newer growth, whereas this year it was already chopped down, so all the new growth ready to go, and it has. And the aces are looking great, and the lilies going great guns as well. So yeah, not a lot to report with the outdoor. I've got some Saki balance in here now. Now we're at above 12 degrees C, so I'm going to keep these, like I say, now they're on. I'm not going to rush to get those off this year. I'm just going to enjoy them, enjoy the fish there for another couple of weeks, because it is still cold. Grass has been cut, borrowed that mower. Oh, I've got a bit of washing out, which is now my shorts have fell off. Look, I'll do them in a bit. So, got a new battery in the little feeder. I have 2 of these on my 2000 grow on pond, and they are opposing times, so when one finishes the other one starts to dump in, so it's like a constant feed all day. Here's the tree. It's starting to look a little bit tidier. Saying that, I've not managed to cut this grass yet. I normally cut a nice path through. The bees are looking great. So let's get in here, because a couple of hours ago, oh, it's lovely in here. Woohoo! I love it, absolutely love it. It's so cozy and warm in here. I'm gonna say it is still pretty cold outside. You'll notice, koi keepers, that the outdoor temperature is very cold this weekend of Saturday the 20th, and as you can see, this is still bubbling away. That has been bubbling now for, I think, what time I was in here or outside at 9 o'clock this morning, and I think I went back in, I turned this on about 11 o'clock, and it is now 10 past 1, so that's after a couple of hours. So what I'm going to do, I think, my wife's asleep because she's been on a night shift, so she's come in, we've had some brunch, she's fell asleep with there's a match on, so I'm in here now, a bit of quiet time, get this drained off. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to dismantle this, and I'm going to take this top off the Eazypod, this one screw there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. And while it's drained, I'm going to take the inner part out and have a look at the bottom of that, and I will show you when I'm at that stage. I'm not going to show how to dismantle that, 'cause it's pretty self-explanatory. Like I say, you take this part off here, and then the inner part comes out. I can't remember if there's a couple of stainless steel screws in there, or whether it just sits in. If I remember right, I think it just sits in. But you've got to take the K1 out, which is a right ball ache. So, and I said I was going to count how many litres of that I've got anyway. So I think I might do that, so I know apparently they come with 18 litres of K1. So I'm going to have a look at that and see how much is actually in there. So that will be part of this video as well. Look at that's going great. The side of this one is looking really good. This side is almost cleared now, but that side is still looking a little bit ugly. So that one I'm going to get out and get my brush and get onto that back scale look, which got a bit of algae on it, which I've not managed to clear off yet properly there. So I'm going to get on that one, put some anti-bac or a bit of PP paste on there, I'll see, and yeah, get the air back onto this and get that filter back up, and I'll show you that in a bit. So while this is, the moving bed is doing a grand. So let's have a look what the bottom of the filter's got going on. 17.9 degrees in here at the moment, maintaining a minimum of 17.4, which it has been keeping. I'm in no rush to increase the air source heat pump temperature outside, because I know when it gets down to single figures, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's not the most efficient to keep up with the temperature and the demand and the heat loss of this pond. It just can't keep up with it. So I've really got to wait till it's about 24 degrees in here naturally, 22, say about 22 degrees naturally in here. I'm going to keep increasing that temperature, and hopefully once it's about 10, the minimum temperatures of 10 degrees, then hopefully that is enough where I can start maintaining the 24 for 5 months in here. But we'll see. So anyway, enough of that. Here off, let's drain it. In fact, I keep that on while I'm draining it, so I just think it helps, because the water can't go back into it because of the pressure in the internal bit. That's a method in my madness there. hell of a lot of muck again in there. So we'll be back. So here's the inside of the Eazypod. That's the part that comes out. You've got to leave your tube in. You've got to have a centre tube and leave that in, and literally that just sits in there like that, and then the screws just screw into there, and that's it. So you have to just do like that, lift it up, lift it out. That's the centre out. And then I've got a 1 litre tub that was a bird feed tub, and then I've just gone like that all the way around, emptied into here, and then when I've got to the bottom, I've literally, when it's harder to scoop that out, I've done that and then scooped it like a handful, and then scoop it in and lift out. And so far I've had 17 of those in there, and there is about 1 litre left. Now, I mean, I've left this on for literally 2 hours, so what I would suggest with these is every so often leave them on for a long period bubbling, so you give them a right good bubble, and you should hopefully, I mean, there's nothing, there's no big heavy deposits. Yeah, there's a bit of crap in the bottom there, look, but that's not bad for a bottom of a filter for me. What I do as well, I will get a tub, i.e. this tub, I pop that under there, undo this, and then drain the water out of that pipe in there, and then I hose that out inside there. So I will show you the debris in there. It's only a case of undo that, and then that will empty. So I'll show you that water. The actual K1 is looking great actually. That really good clean, has really done it well. Obviously a 5-minute clean is not going to do it, you know, clean it as well. So maybe if you don't boil it, bubble it that long, maybe you might get heavy deposits there. But now that's got that 95 litres pumping into it, that's given it a really good clean actually. So that's reassured me, let's put it that way. I feel reassured that there's not loads of sediment and crap at the bottom of there. So I'll hose that out, clean all that out, jobs are good, and fill it back up, turn it all back on. As you can see, the K1 has got a nice tinge to it now. When you first get it, it is quite white, like that. So as you can see, if you look the background of white to this, it's quite browny colour, which is fabulous. I'm just topping off the pond to replace the water in there, like I always do, and added my dechlorinator and my Seachem Safe, so that'll be all ready to go. So, yeah, let me get that tub full of water and see what we've got in there. So there's the water in the bottom of there. Nothing major, if I'm honest with you. A bit of biofilm and just a bit of tinged water. I've already emptied one of these out, so that's about 1 litre. I've already took about 2.5 litres. I'd say it's about 3 litres that centre part will take out if you drain it. Now what I am going to do, I'm just going to put this on jet and then try and not get wet with one hand. And as you can see now, the pod has had a good clean out. Really good. And I'll just give it a last hose in. I mean, this is like mega clean, this is. I won't be doing this every week. And then I'll give it a bit of, see what, a bit more muck there now, look, which is worth a good hose in. I think what that will do is it will get rid of, it will just, I've got my lens wet. It will loosen up any biofilm. There we go. that's the muck out of there now, after, as you saw, hosing the inner pipe. Because if you didn't know already, guys, the inside of your pond surface and filter surface, pipe work, so on and so forth, is walls for beneficial bacteria. So if you like, I have, you know, hosed away there. You can see it inside pipes and things like that. Look, you get a bit of gunge. You could actually get very paranoid about stuff like that, and I don't know people that do, but I hear people that do. That's that. You can just give that a hose out if you wanted to in the pump. Here we go, that's clean that, look. And then what I will do, I'll just have a look inside, and I will just pop the pump off while it's disconnected and make sure there's no debris about to block the impeller, stuff like that. So I'll get that all back on, and then I will conclude this week's video. This one, I've got to say, I was hopeful. Now I'm not so hopeful. Just going back and forth. I just don't know. I might have to. I was going to buy, what was it? Was it 4 litres or something of acroflavin, just to continue these treatments for 10 doses every 3 days, and just give them a course of that. I don't know, I might do that. Because they were clearing up, I thought, no, I won't bother, but maybe. See that one? I don't know, very odd. But the way it moves and everything like that, it's fine. Been scraped twice already in the space of the last 2 months, not find anything. So, go figure. So, everything has been cleaned, absolutely spot on. I've got a top tip for you. Before you put your pump on, have a look, when the water fills up, have a look in there, without this in of course, to see if there is any of these K1 pieces in there. See, there's one, look, just come to the surface there, I can see it. There you go. Oh, another one, look. So I must have, when filling this up, even though I put something in there, a couple of pieces have actually got down and through. There's 4 I've picked up now, look. And that's kind of having a little backwash now, look, because that's filling up from the pond, because I've opened that valve up, so it's coming from there and self-leveling this way. There we go. So what I'm going to do is turn, because I've put Pond Detox, and what's handy for me is on the instruction it says 2 tablespoons per 1,000 gallons. Well, that's 1,000 gallons, spot on. 2 tablespoons dissolved in some water, and I've poured that in there, so we should see this come out there now. We should see this come out the return, because I've opened the valve up fully. The pond's going to go on. It will start screaming though. Here it comes. And that's going in there now, you can see it in the water column. Oops. Now that's empty now, look. So what I'm going to do now is pop that in, because that's the Pond Detox in the water. Yeah. Bottom drain on. And that is the Eazypod having what you could call a mega clean, without mega cleaning too much the K1. If you didn't know, guys, tip, if you're learning about bacteria, you don't hose down really too much. Well, you don't hose down with tap water with your biomedia, because you're literally blasting everything off. Now what you want to do, what I do, is say if that was, I don't know, I was gonna, because this boils and you can empty it, that's your clean done, great. But if it wasn't like that and you got brushes, not brushes, Japanese matting for example is your biomedia, you wash that in a bucket of pond water or something like that, and you do it that way. Okay, but in this scenario you do not get your hose on there with your tap water, because you could knock off and damage and kill your biological media. Now Peter Waddington, he actually gave, because he had the Epic filter, and he used to hose his Jap matting, which wasn't Jap mat, I can't remember what it was called now, but he used to hose it down, and he kind of disagreed with that theory. And if I'm honest with you, I think if you've got something that's deep, that's very thick, and you're hosing it down, you're hosing the surface down, it's not going to kill everything off, is it? So you're probably going to get away with it. And I've done that before, to be fair, on my pond, my main pond outside. I've actually hosed down the Jap matting before on the biological side, but not really going to town to get it, you know, sterile. That's what you don't want. But your mechanical stage, yeah, you can really go to town on that. Now with an Eazypod, that is your mechanical and biological, so you've got to get a balance between the two. So this really has had an absolute mega clean now. It's been stripped down, hosed out, that's all been emptied, pump's been checked, got some Pond Detox in there now. Everything's happy. We'll get this out, see what's, there you go, a bit of proof in the pudding that there's not, even though it's had a mega clean, look at that, there's still a good, look how much that grabs of that initial fill. So that's why I stopped doing, otherwise that will blow down the pump or pull down the pump, and that will all go into the pond. So that'll be hosed out in a minute. So yeah, the Pond Detox formula. So this claims to neutralises pollution, improves water clarity, settles particles, enriches skin colour, skin lustre, optimises health, aids digestion. So at high levels, these substances and many other pollutants have the potential to cause fish mortalities: copper, zinc, ammonia, nitrite, acid rain and lead. So obviously the ones we're common with is, we know, or most people know, that acid rain or low pH rain can really affect your pond. It can crash your pH, get really low, and that can then crash your filter. Lead, copper and zinc are obviously metals, and then obviously ammonia and nitrite we know about. Even at low levels, exposure to fish are susceptible to disease. Now this, obviously, if that's mentioning this stuff, I'm assuming that neutralizes pollution, so improves water clarity. So does that improve these things as well? It doesn't say that, it doesn't claim it, but it doesn't say it. But if it's mentioning it, it must make them better, I would assume. I bought 1 kilo. It's actually the bigger one, because it's not cheap. You can get it in 450 gram tubs, I think. But I thought I'd get 1 kilo and pay more and use it, and it'll probably last me a few months for the summer. And see, now I tend not to get too drawn into stuff like that and pond clays, because it's very difficult to see what it does. So what do I mean by that? If I do nothing apart from my pond maintenance, how much does that achieve? And how much does what I've got now, what I'm doing now, achieve without that product? Now I know on seasons come by, or seasons in the past, I know what I'm likely to achieve. So it's very difficult to say in 3 months time of using it, go, yeah, this is better because it does X, Y and Z, and I can see the improvements. And anyone that does say and claim certain things, I would like to demonstrate how you eliminate your general maintenance from, so you take that part away. So what percentage could you say that improves things? It's very difficult to make assumptions and make, you know, to say yes, that has improved it that much, or clay has, or whatever product you use. I've used this before. I've used the stuff with the clear bottle that's really red and stinky. I've used that before. All these products you don't see and go, yes, that's made such a difference. And you can't. No, everybody, like I say, anybody claiming that, I would dispute them. I would say, well, okay, what percentage of an improvement has that made, taking on board your general culture? So take things with a pinch of salt, because there's loads of products like this on the market, and before you know it, you can have rackfuls of them, and it costs a lot of money. And also, if you make a lot of changes, how can you say, so if I started adding clay in as well, and how could I say it's that product or that product? So I try and change one thing at a season. So I do have Breeder Secret, but I've not used it in this pond. So this year I'm going to use this specifically on this pond here and see if I can see any improved marked difference. But of course, I've got quite a big moving bed in there. I've got that Kintama in there, so they're going to make a big difference as well, but we'll see. Looking good. So that's it. Woo, I've got a bit of sweat on. Gone up to 18.1 now. It's gone up 0.8 degrees. It's gone up today in here. So there we go. Mega clean. Get them done, guys. If you've got one, got an Eazypod, or you've got a filter, pond filter, now is the time to get them stripped down, give them a good clean, give them a start for the season to come. Get it done. Ponds checked, pumps checked, hosed out inside, pipe inside cleaned. That's had a mega clean. That's had a 2-hour boil. It's all been taken out. Everything's bang on, ready. So on that note from me and from them in there, thanks for watching. If you're a subscriber, as always, thanks for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button already, please hit the like button. If you haven't liked the video, please hit the thumbs down button. It all helps. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.